I do think that we can rise above the driver versus Muni rider versus bicyclist versus pedestrian to rise above that and make the kind of transportation system that San Francisco should have. How about walking down to the Muni platform, looking up and seeing trains coming every 6 minutes, every 12 minutes, every 18 minutes, and they actually show up on time. You can board them, and you're not stuck in the tunnel, and the drivers are friendly and they announce the stops. How about making sure that we have the right bike lanes and that the bike lanes are functional and that drivers are considerate of bikers and bikers are considerate of drivers, and we can share space and use it so that there is a world-class transportation system both for bikers, drivers, and pedestrians. I know better than to say I can fix Muni in 100 days, because I can't. What I can do is propose solutions to the issues. So issue number one is, how can we monitor Munis, the way that Muni is spending its resources and its finances better? The first thing I do is bring back the S shuttle. And I don't think bringing back the S shuttle means that we have to spend more money on the S shuttle. The trains are there, the tracks are there, and that's just a redistribution of resources. The second thing I do is have the J Church turn around right at 30th Street. There's no reason why the J Church has to go all the way out to Balboa Park. There are two other lines that serve Balboa Park. The J Church is full enough and has enough traffic and people that use that line so that if you just go back and forth, you'd be able, again, it would be a more effective use, which wouldn't require more money. Muni is losing money every year. And one of the ways where it's been losing money is because there have been driver contracts that don't require collective bargaining. And we passed that initiative during better budgetary times, and that has to be revisited now. That being said, I don't want to demonize drivers. I think we have to look at the infrastructure issues, the driver issues, the money that we're spending on middle management, the money that we're spending on the drivers themselves. We've got to look holistically at the entire puzzle and not just piecemeal it one piece by one piece by one piece. And the reason why I understand that is because I've been a commissioner of a large department. And I know that it's not as simple as saying this one thing has to get fixed, and if this one thing gets fixed, therefore the whole thing would get fixed. It doesn't work like that. You've got to go through the entire process. What are all the pieces to the puzzle at Muni? Muni safety is a crucial issue. We found out that some 30% of the Muni cameras weren't in good working order. And I, for the life of me, do not understand why we didn't do an audit of those cameras and find out who provided those cameras, why were they not working properly because we didn't install them right or because we got defective cameras from the service provider, and why we didn't get a partial refund from that money. That'd be the very first question I'd be asking in a Muni fee hearing. And the fact of the matter is the cameras help provide safety. So when you have a good Muni camera, and I know because I prosecuted these cases, that if you have a good camera that can say this person in the blue t-shirt with the white stripes was the one who punched the woman on the Muni car, it makes it a lot easier to prosecute, and it allows us to make sure that those who commit crimes go to jail. San Francisco has consistently been ranked one of the unsafest cities for pedestrians. I see it every day as I walk from 7th and Market to the Hall of Justice. Persons who are running red lights, bicyclists who don't want to stop at stop signs because they've got a good ride going on. I really think we have to have good pedestrian walkways for people. One of the things in terms of being a district supervisor that I want to look at is having diagonal crosswalks, particularly at 18th and Castro. And yes, that intersection of 16th, Noe, and Market Street has got to have better pedestrian walkways and better bicycle lanes and better traffic intersection. I mean, that whole intersection needs to be revamped. I love the reuse of plazas in and of themselves. I was proud to have been the LGBT liaison to Willie Brown, the liaison to District 8, when the 17th Street Plaza idea was first discussed. I am heartened by what's happened at San Jose and Guerrero and the pedestrian plaza there. And Noe Valley has now joined the effort. They're going to be having a parklet plaza that's going to start at 24th and Noe in the coming months, thanks to the work of the Community Benefit District out there. And I think that there's great room and great potential in the reuse of space and how we use space here in the city. And it's a really neat community space for everyone to enjoy, and for community to grow in and of itself, as opposed to coming from top down. It's bubbling up. And that's exactly those kinds of efforts are things that I would champion as a member of the Board of Supervisors. There are those that say that we need to do it to increase money, and there are those that say that we need to do it to decrease driving. And there's a lot of speculation on that issue, and I'm not convinced that people are going to not drive because it costs money to park. The one thing that I would consider is North Beach has the highest number of non-San Franciscan traffic, and we could increase parking fees there on Sundays and see if it's an actual deterrent. In a perfect world, we all are on Muni. But the fact of the matter is there are people who are disabled, there are people who have families who still rely on cars. And so we need to be cognizant of that and know that there are certain people who are still going to drive. So the fact of the matter is the streets have to be used by all. We have to share that space for people who bicycle, for people who drive, for people who walk. And I think there's room for all of it. And I do think we can have a world-class transportation system.